What's up, everybody? So, 3 things. I'm going on the road. What's the story behind Till the End? And where the heck's Chandler? Well, Chandler is like, he's right there.
Ayo!
Come on over, dude. So, yeah, we've got a couple things to go over here. Kind of updates in general, as well as just talking about the new song that dropped. So, yeah, first off, let's start off with, dude, Obliterate crossed 3 million on YouTube. Yesterday, right?
Yes, it was yesterday. So grateful. Still grateful.
Dude, it was such a good song. So fun.
It is.
The social media content went absolutely nuclear, dude. It was crazy. It was like, I think I counted it out, it was like 250 million views on everything.
It's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, like, that second video we did with my wife being in the video.
Yeah,
and that's just like...
I credit it all to her flashlight turning on.
Yeah, and that was all by just...
hilarious.
Yeah, just did it randomly. And I was like, that's crazy.
So when I laugh in the video, we're talking about the video where like I'm reacting to like him screaming on the mic and we're like, oh, he said he was gonna sing. When her flashlight turned on, I didn't know that was gonna happen. So when you see me laugh at it, that was legit.
Yeah.
So I think the reason, that was the first take that we did of that whole thing. So I think why everything is so organic is because that was literally the first time we shot it. And like the where I kick you at the end wasn't planned at all.
No, yeah.
I was just like, that laugh was real.
That
like,
legitimate was a laugh.
yeah.
Bro.
So I think it was like an authentic moment.
Yeah.
And I think people just really connected to that, which was crazy. They're just like,
yeah, it's literally just one take. That's actually the day I flew back home. Now I moved back, which is great. So I'm back here.
He's back
here permanently. So really excited about that. So yeah, thank you again, everybody, for just the love on that song. It's still going, and people are loving it.
yeah, it's
great.
Yeah, my Instagram is still just like, both of our YouTubes just went way up,
Blowing up,
which is
dude.
crazy.
Yep.
Actually, here, you talk about your YouTube channel for a second.
Absolutely. My YouTube channel was funny. I took a break for a while just because I was focusing on mental health stuff. Again, I moved to Florida. My wife and I made the decision to move back here. And so I kind of took a break for a while with mental health stuff. And ever since like with Obliterate, my channel's been blowing up. And I'm really excited to be doing content again. And then we get this bad boy right here. So sick, dude.
This was crazy because when we first posted Obliterate, I had 10,000 subs.
Yeah.
And now it's like at 128,000.
Yeah, 128,000.
And it's been really nice on the next song that I just posted, Till the End, the one we're gonna talk about. It's really helped a lot. And it's just like, I think that one already did like 35. It's only been out for like just a little bit. And it did like 35,000 or something.
Yeah.
So it's been really, really nice. But so what are you and I doing next? What's in the future? So basically, what we have decided on is the best move for both of us is we're gonna work on establishing Chandler as an artist, because as all you guys know, you went and clicked on his Spotify profile after listening to like Obliterate or Never Run. There's nothing there, because you never really had the full means to like make an album or anything like that on your own, right?
Yeah, no, it was just one of those things when I was like 14, got into screaming. I was in a band when I was younger, didn't go anywhere. So Mike and I had a really good conversation about like, this is like the time to like really do this.
Yeah.
And so
what you mean by that is like, I was telling him like, so we both like, I do this for a living full time, and I've been doing this since I was 11, 12. So, and I have like established myself. And Chandler, when I found him, I like pulled him in on what we were doing. And so I have my full setup, full infrastructure stuff. So, but now with this, I was telling him this is the perfect opportunity to launch you as an artist, as Chandler Burton, and get you established. And like, so you've been writing songs, and I've been like helping you like get everything figured out and filling in the gaps for you. My guitarist Tyler is actually producing your stuff now.
Yep.
And all the tones that I've built that we use on like Obliterate, Never Run, I actually gave to Tyler. So he's like building your songs with the same stuff that like we built or I used on our stuff. So that way we can really get you rolling. And like, that doesn't mean that like we are never going to do anything again.
Right.
Like we totally will. But right now, we really want to focus on getting like you soundly established, because you deserve to be able to do music for a living. And you have a shot at doing that right now. So really trying to help you get set up and good to go.
Yeah.
I'm getting set up on my side still, you know what I mean? Because I'm right now, like I'm good, but right now I'm in the process of trying to like hire, you know, Tyler, Daniel, like all the guys that you see in the music videos that have been there for like the last like 5 years. I'm in an opportunity now. I'm trying to like really establish Micah Eris to be able to generate enough cash flow to be able to pull those guys on.
Yeah.
And we're building kind of a nice music community around here with like Garrett's local too, the guy I did Against All Odds with.
Yep.
He's actually our barber.
Yeah. He cuts great hair.
Yeah,
he's so good.
It's really good.
Shout out to you, Garrett, for real.
Shout
You
out
got
to
a
Garrett.
great voice, great guitar player, and can cut great hair.
Yeah, so we're building like a little like music community up here of like me, Chandler, Garrett, and some other guys that which has just been super, super fun. But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off at all or anything. But
no, bro, I'm just really grateful to have this opportunity because again, we were talking about it like over our lunch dates and things like that, where it's like I do have this chance to like really do music for a living, and I was telling Mike, I feel like that's one of the only things in my life where I was like, I really feel like I've done well in is music, writing lyrics, being vulnerable in those lyrics, and screaming, and maybe some other things too. But
you're good at a bunch of. You're insane at music.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I wouldn't say only thing you're good at.
There's other things I would say I'm good at for sure, but the one thing I felt comfortable with my entire life with music, even when I was going through like my darkest times, like music was always there. Yeah. And now that I'm in a much better place, I'm excited to take that better mentality going into this, and hopefully it'll help somebody who struggled like I am. I struggled a lot, but it'll help me, and hopefully it'll help other people for sure. So I'm excited to do that. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm glad you have a chance of doing this because I remember when I met you, you were like, I know you like tried to do stuff before in the past and basically gave up on it.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
So
100%. I gave up big time.
So it was really fun to bring you in, and then I'm so thankful that the 4 songs we did so well. 3 of them did really well. The other one was fun.
That's fact. What Have I Become? It has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But I acknowledge that it's a very safe song. But the Philo Never Run, Obliterate.
It's a great song if it wasn't
grateful.
boring.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Gabe's calling me. Sorry, Gabe. Filming a video. Front of house engineer. He's like, I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. He's super busy. He's on tour right now.
Nice.
Man, 2 dudes with ADHD. This is not going well. I got notes. We both have really bad ADHD.
No, yeah, bro. It's facts.
That's why we make the music.
Yeah, that's true, dude.
But so you can look forward to Chandler having solo songs coming out.
Yes.
Which is going to be incredible. And I've been hearing what he's got rolling and what Tyler's been working on. It sounds insane.
Thank you, bro.
So it's really, really good.
Appreciate the help too. So
go follow him on everything so that way you don't miss it when those drop. And then the next question is like, are you and I done making music together? I know we touched on it for a second. The answer is no. But again, we're just focusing on, we're trying to get him established, trying to get me fully established so we can really do this for a living and then come back. And some people are going to be like, well, why don't you just like do it together? Because like, if you could see the analytics that we see, we kind of like hit the ceiling of that subgenre.
Yeah.
I think the statistics said that like it was like top 200, top 300 of like that genre in the US. We kind of like shot up there really quick. It's not big enough for us to live off of and split any sort of things any sort of way. So if you can do it fully and then I can do it fully and then we both do it at some point, like, and we like, you know, keep collaborating and like cross-pollinate with the streams and stuff, then that's enough. So
Absolutely.
We're like taking that business decision, but we're friends in real life. We hang out all the time. We've been hanging out, as you guys have been talking, there's like, where's Chandler or what's going on? Like we were literally hanging out the whole time reading those comments. So like, we're friends, we're here.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that's kind of what's there. Let's see what else I wrote down here. And then I guess we'll talk about me going on the road and shows and stuff. So we'll just kind of cut to the chase really quick. I'm playing 2 shows. I'm playing in Richland, and that's more than halfway sold out, and Spokane's sold out already.
Awesome.
Which is super cool. I didn't sell them out. The bands that are there sold them out. I mean, I don't know. There's no way to tell.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna take any credit for that. But I'm thankful to play for, you know, crowds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I have actually headlining in October in Bremerton. And then now that when I'm like the opener or like direct support, I don't have the ability to bring in like guests and stuff. My set is like super short. It's like 9 songs.
Yeah.
Right? But when I'm headlining, I can do whatever I want. So I'll be pulling Chandler out, and we'll be playing. I think we have time to play 3, so we're gonna do Defiler, Never Run, and Obliterate.
Yes.
So if you guys want to see those songs live, this is your chance. We'll film it too.
Absolutely,
We'll
bro.
film it.
And I can't wait for it, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that, which is so you can. That show is already posted online if you want to go get tickets for it. It's not public knowledge that Chandler's on it yet, but I'll be posting about that here pretty soon. So yeah, there's that. What about next? Yeah. So anyways, updates with me and what I got going on is I've been getting ready for tour. There's actually like boxes of merch and t-shirts right there behind Chandler. Been dropping stupid money on gear, getting stuff ready. Rehearsals, writing the light shows, buying more lights, just like it's been crazy. It's been 2 or 3 months of me just grinding it out.
Yeah, bro.
Trying to write a song and get a music video done and put everything out while doing all that has been so difficult.
Yeah, bro.
And also all the other projects I got rolling. But we're close. We're almost there. We just got to finish the last bit, a little bit of the light shows. We did a rehearsal last night. It sounded awesome. I was super stoked about that. Finally starting to sound like, it sounded like a set last night. You know what I mean? It sounded like a full set.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you later.
For sure. Absolutely.
And so that's what we got going on there. And we're going to go hit the road in two weeks.
Bro, tell me, like, you got, so I need to say this as well. It's funny, like the way Micah met and stuff, like when I was doing reactions, it was such a cool experience, like watching you, like from doing the reactions to some of your old songs to like now, even with the songs with not me on it, like I've seen great growth.
Thanks,
and
man.
it's really cool to watch as a friend. Like I am a fan of Micah, not just the songs that I'm on. I'm a fan of everything that he does. Like I love the music, I love the lyrics, and it's something that I listen to on a regular basis, bro. So, you know, you doing all this, because I've seen how hard Micah works. Like, you know, he's doing all this, you know. How do you, like, what do you do to, like, manage your mental health with all this, bro? Like, how do you, like, take it easy? I know you say you don't go to bed till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Then I come over here at 11, so it's probably not much,
Yeah.
you know, much sleep. But, like, is there anything that you've been doing to, like, help you out with all that, or?
Usually how I'm handling it is my mentor and I came up with this concept of a race pace. So him and I both love watching F1. That's just like a pastime. It's nice when you're sitting in the studio working and have a race going on. And we pretty much said, like, if you watch those guys, half the racing is like just having the technical ability to like be in the race car and make the turns and reaction time and stuff, and knowing that and knowing the racing. The other part is actually managing like your tires, managing your speed, because your level of traction changes depending on how hard you were going. So like if you just like pushed really hard, all of a sudden on 3 laps from now you don't have traction anymore and you have to slow down. So what we always say is like we could always push harder and always go faster, but the trick I feel like with managing the mental health and the burnout and everything is learning what your race pace is and like listening to how your body's feeling and being like, sometimes you can only operate at 70%.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating because you've done 100 before, or you've done 110% before, you know, but you know what that feels like, but right now you're only capable of 70. And just like not getting frustrated like with that and not trying to push past your limits too much. Another thing too is just like spending a lot of time with friends, you know.
For sure.
I got some sports leagues that I hopped into and I didn't tell anybody in there what I do or anything like that. So that way I can just be one of them and just hang out and do stuff without anybody asking me, you know, like questions about,
for sure.
Like, how's the thing going or whatever.
Yeah.
It can be a little rough and a little isolating to not have a 9 to 5 that everybody else has one. So, because it's just such a different way of living and looking at stuff. And you like when you don't have a 9 to 5, you push so much harder. But I'd say the biggest thing is just like hanging out with friends and stuff and taking time to slow down and then giving myself enough grace to not like push past my limits or not beating up on myself. And if I can only handle 40% of what I'm capable of right now, then being okay with that.
Yeah.
And then just, you know, rescheduling, and we do meetings constantly where we like set our goals, and if it's not going that way, then we hop on. I'll like Charlie, Michael, and I hop on another call, and we'll sit there and go through what do we need to do, and then we'll like redo the schedule to like push it out a little bit. Because I think like I was supposed to drop a song like next week, and now it's not going to happen just because I had a bunch of stuff in my life happen.
Right.
So now we're like making up a new plan and pushing it back a little bit. So just kind of stuff like that. We're just valuing relationships as much as you value like your career, I guess.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if that answers your question or not.
It does, and I like what you were saying to kind of bounce off of that, is that I think one of the things I struggle with is like I like sticking to a plan, and if something changes, I beat myself up. And I think that's really good that you're willing to like, take that step back, kind of reevaluate, because there's only so much you can do. Remember we did Obliterate, you were like super sick, bro. We had limited time too, that was
so bad.
That was tough, but I mean we pulled it off. But I think it's good that you're, I think that's really good for mental health. Just being able to like, go with the flow.
I was visiting my uncle in Florida when I was writing the chorus.
Yeah.
And I just saw him a little, because I was like January when it came out. So we were there for like December-ish. I just saw him a little bit ago. And what I realized is how much my life has changed since that time.
Yeah.
Like back, when I was writing Obliterate, that's when Against All Odds was exploding. So I was telling him about Against All Odds and how it like debuted at number 8 on the rock charts and all that stuff with Garrett, which is such a fun song. And then going from that into Obliterate, and it's just like, because Against All Odds carried momentum into Obliterate, it got that initial spark, and then it just exploded.
Yeah.
And just telling him the difference was crazy. I know it's a little bit off track, but like just being like how fast everything's moved, it's crazy. I feel like life is just different now,
For sure. In a good way, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be back, dude. Like, it was one of those things where I learned a lot about myself out in Florida, because I kind of left on like a negative mind space, like not so much moving, but just like a lot of things going on in my life. But I was able to take what I learned in Florida and bring it back here in a much positive light.
I think,
so I'm really
I can tell you're much happier.
For sure.
Now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I'm glad you could see it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's been really great. Like I'm just so thankful to have you back. We've been going out like almost like once a week-ish, yeah?
Yeah, we've been hanging out, just talking, laughing, just, it's just been really good, man.
Yeah. So anyways, last thing to talk about is just till the end, like what's the point behind the song? So we're gonna do it this way. I had Chandler go through the lyrics and then listen to the song a little bit ago. And then he's got some questions for me. And then I will do my best to answer all of them.
I'm excited to talk about this because, again, like I'm not on this song, so I love hearing because obviously when we do the songs together, sometimes I could put in like my input or how I want to try things. But what I love about doing these is that it's really a lot on you. And I love your process of writing lyrics, and me learning from you has been really good.
You're killing it.
I appreciate that, bro. Let's start off with the simple question. Like, tell me what Till the End is like about. What was like the mindset going in?
Actually, let's do this. What do you think it's about? Because I'm actually really curious because I know exactly what I was meaning when I wrote it. But I'm curious, like when you read through it, what do you think I was saying?
Yeah, there's a part of the song that really stuck out to me. I like the line, "I know this road now leads to nothing. To make it out, I need to turn my face to the wind. There's no avoiding the pain that's coming. So bring it on, and if there's a chance I can live again." For me, it sounds like it's a person who's kind of stuck in like a darker place in their life, when it can be like addiction, depression, anxiety. That's what's great about music, is that you can kind of take your own interpretation of it, and it really feels like no matter what you're going through, like you're gonna make it till the very end of the finish line. Even if you can't see it, you want to just keep going. Like there's something in your brain that's telling you, don't give up, like keep going. Even if you can't see it, you got to keep pushing.
Yeah, I think, that's basically dead on. So I'm glad it translated. But the one thing that I wanted to communicate, I wanted to write a song for a person who is dealing with addiction, being stuck in a really hard situation, be it like an abusive relationship or something.
Yeah.
Just anybody who's stuck, who is like, in order to get like out, it's gonna require a high level of effort, and you're like bracing yourself for the impact. So that verse was like pretty much just like, my life is at a dead end right now. Like this is it. If I don't change, I'm done. And to get out, I use the turn my face to the wind acknowledgement, kind of like facing like a hurricane or a storm, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna be super painful to change your life to get out. So I was writing lyrics of just like, I'm in this horrible place. I know that if I stay here, like my life's over. So I need to like brace myself. I need to get back out there, and I got to go change my life and do something incredibly hard. But it's worth it, but bracing yourself for you got to go do it. And then the chorus comes in and says, "I'm going to make it out or die trying." So there's like that resolution. So it's like a very like it's like a person who's has their back against the wall, and I wrote this song to kind of be like, yo, get a little mad, like get a little angry, and save yourself. You know what I mean?
I love that, dude.
Yeah, so
And
that's the point of it.
yeah, dude, I think it's one of those things where I can relate to that, and we've all been in that spot. You know, like, has there been a time, if you're maybe a story where you've just like you've got? I mean, obviously, I'm sure this is inspired by yourself or maybe someone you know. But
Yeah, for sure.
has there been a time in your life where you're like, this is too hard, but I'm going to keep pushing? Like, would you say like the music overall and what you're doing would be that? Is there something else in your life that kind of made you want to write this song, I guess you could say?
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that I won't go into that is
sure.
like too personal to bring up. But
Yeah.
I've had a lot of times where I was like borderline, like I was at the very end of my rope.
For sure.
Like, and I was sitting there, and you have to like, and I was writing from that place. I also know a lot of people that are in those kind of situations where they're like, they are dealing with addiction, dealing with relationships, dealing with family issues, where it's not their fault that they're here, or they tried to do something good. And that's why the rap lines in the verse 2 is took a bullet when I tried to take a shot. So basically it's like you tried to do something and it backfired and it ended up being worse for you, because that can be the most demoralizing thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, you put yourself out there and you get kneecapped. So
Yeah, it's awful.
and just picking
It's terrible, dude.
and just picking yourself out and pushing. So I would say it's kind of a generic melting pot of like my story, and then the story of my friends, and the story of like the people I've heard about, and just trying to. I wanted to connect deeply with the most amount of people possible. So I left everything a little more open ended and less specific, to try to be like just to anybody who's dealing with like this thing. So yeah, there's a lot of personal stuff behind it that I can't talk about.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't know if that answers that.
It definitely does, bro.
Yeah.
And again, what I love about your songwriting is that and we've talked about it's easy to understand. It's good to understand. And I think a lot of people can relate to it, myself included. You know, a lot of people assume like, I'm a lot happier now because I'm married, like everything's going well. Like, there's still days where the depression and anxiety comes up, and
life is pain.
Yeah, for sure. And I think something that I've learned throughout my life is if it's hard, it's generally the right thing to do. If it's easy, then it's probably, most of the time, it's not the way to go.
Yeah.
And I think the song does a good job of like, you know, you're going to have to just push yourself a little bit more if you want to get happy. Even if you can't see like the results of it right away, I think the song does a good job of expressing that.
Yeah,
of like,
for sure.
Yeah, of like, I gotta push through it, because if I don't, it's gonna be the end. And I want to keep going, because life has so much to offer. You know what I mean? So I think the song does a good job of portraying that message for sure.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was really hard to write it because, like I said, I was so burned out because Obliterate had just wrapped up. We launched all the videos. There were so many comments coming in that it was like crazy. And the thing about the comments, which is wild, is everybody wants to pit you and I against each other.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like nobody, like I kind of get it with like the videos and stuff, but the amount of people that are like slamming me or like slamming you, it really bothers me when I read that stuff.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where there was like, I think there was like 50,000 comments, and I ran the math, and it's like I would have had to like work like an entire week's 8-hour shift just reading comments in order to keep up. So I ended up just shutting all of that off. But like the aftermath of that was like mentally I was just trashed. So I went into production on the next song, which is Till the End. But I was so shot trying to write this thing that I was trying really hard to like write the best thing I could. And I'm happy with how it turned out. But it definitely was like a kind of a grueling process. I ended up actually having to get a hold of my manager and get a hold of Michael and be like, halfway through, I just stopped for 3 weeks. I got to the point where like, I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to take 3 weeks off because I hadn't had a break since before Against All Odds. So,
yeah.
And then when I came back, I feel like I was able to kind of figure out what the song was like trying to say and be about more and be cohesive with it and get it out. And then like with the music video, it was a little bit rough is we accidentally formatted one of the cards in the cameras. So like trying to get the edit was like, it was a little bit rough. I really like how that turned out too, but the whole process was not fun for this song.
I feel that.
But I'm really happy where it ended. Glad you guys are enjoying it. I'm glad it's in my top, I think it's gonna be streaming in my top 5 or
That's great, bro.
It's solidly in my top 10 right now. So
Yeah, I love
just
that,
nice
man.
to see like something that when I was having a hard time, like it's still it was up there.
Well, I found that interesting too
Yeah.
because you literally just drew inspiration from your own song, where like you you took a break.
Maybe that's why I wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like the best songs sometimes unfortunately come through, as you said, life is pain. It kind of comes through pain, and I
Yeah.
felt like you taking that step back and being like, you know what, I just need to give it a second, and you came back to it and made a great song. So I mean, like
I
I think
appreciate
that
that.
was, I think I was, I kind of proved right there. Like sometimes we got to step away to get better, and then you're able to push to finish the song. Because I love the rapping in it. I love the end where you're taking up an octave with that, like it's so good.
Yeah,
and I'm just
the key
like,
change.
yeah, maybe like taking that break kind of opened that mind of like, this is pretty dope.
I
This
love that
works.
one line. They go,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
high note,
It was
man,
awesome,
so
bro.
Fun.
Yeah, dude.
That song is actually really fun to play live too. What's funny about that song is when you're performing it, it feels not like it's not hitting right, and then when you listen to it back, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So I always, when I'm singing that one live, I just have to trust that it's cool. I just like lead into it, but
Yeah.
it's a weird sensation when you're on stage when you're like performing a song rather than just listening to it. Everything can be completely different.
For sure, bro. It's cool to hear it live too, because I've seen it live. I've seen it like the practice, and it sounds great. So it's really really cool, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited to go out there and
Yeah,
show
for sure.
you what it sounds like what we did last night.
Yeah, I guess my last question, like with this song, like this might sound like a general question, but like,
Yeah.
why do you think? Because this song seems like it's doing really well. Like, why do you think like this one is like standing out the most? Do you think it's like the way the song is, like the way the song's about? Like, what do you think makes this one so special to people?
I think what it is what I've learned with songwriting and what I learned actually, I figured this out when I was working with you. I think Defiler is the first time I figured it out, which is writing lyrics that are relatable to the masses and
Yeah.
not being too specific with your own story, so that way people can insert themselves into the song easier. It's like reducing the friction there, making the music and the vocals more palatable for more people to enjoy, rather than getting too specific with stuff or like throwing in like niche techniques too much. And then also just kind of letting the song be more wide open and have it be less busy.
For sure.
So that, because I like basically like complicated's complicated and simple is iconic. So just trying to lean into that more. The next step for me in my writing is I need to learn how to put myself out there more. I feel like what really helped with working with you was when I was writing the words for you and I was writing parts for you and the music for you, it's not me. So I was writing the absolute dopest, sickest thing I could think of for you to do.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, you know what I mean? But then I go back to my stuff and I would start getting in my own head too much and then start playing it safe.
For sure.
But when you and I went back and forth, I would push myself to match the level of the thing that you just did.
Yeah.
So, and that was really healthy for me. I feel like I've had one moment, like in Against All Odds in the first verse, I feel like I hit like that level where I'm like, oh, I sound like this is sick.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm really trying to get back to that now. But so to answer your question, I think those three things is just reducing friction in those three areas and making it so people can really enjoy it easily. Like a lot of people enjoy it easily.
Yeah.
Rather than just the target demographic, which is usually 25, 35-year-old males, but going to like reaching out farther into different demographics more. It makes it so the song doesn't have to go as viral in order to do numbers.
Yeah.
We don't have to reach as many people to find the small amount of people that are going to listen to it.
For sure.
And yeah, just, I think it's a really relatable topic.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to reach a lot of people because the song is really catchy, but it's got a good message. I love when music like this will reach somebody because it is going to help somebody. And I think it's not, none of your songs are about like anything inappropriate, because that's just not what you stand for. You stand for wanting to help people. And I think when a good song of this comes out and people are going to hear this, it's going to make an impact on them. So I really think it's going to help people, bro.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
really
man.
do. Yeah, absolutely.
I was laughing when I was listening to the song that you're writing right now, because it was like, it's a similar vein to the one I just did too.
Yeah, it kind of is.
We're both on the same page for sure.
For sure.
We definitely, I think that's why it works so well when you and I did the songs together. We're both on the same page.
Absolutely, bro.
And the chemistry is there because we're both kind of already headed in the same direction musically and with what we enjoy and what we like. So, but yeah, well, dude, thank you so much, bro, for hopping on this with me.
Absolutely,
and we'll have to shoot one of these when your song drops, and we'll have to put on your channel.
Bro, that would be fun.
Yeah, go follow Chandler, and we'll talk about his song when it drops. Whenever that is.
Yes.
Give him some time.
Please.
First time around is difficult. It's very difficult learning like who's recording at what house, what microphone, who's doing it's a lot, and these guys are figuring it out. So
For sure.
And I'm here to consult and support as much as I can.
Yeah.
But
It'll be sick.
It will
I
be
promise.
sick.
It'll be dope.
I will make sure.
We'll make sure it's
I'll
dope.
be like, you can't release this. This part is crap.
Yeah.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, for
All
sure,
right,
bro.
we'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Take care, everybody.